Greetings and salutations in our distance. This is Iowa Photech, and here we are with another awesome boss video. This time it's for Dungeons. This Dungeon Master screen is specifically for Dungeons and Dragons 3.5. However, this is actually the deluxe Dungeon Master screen for Dungeons and Dragons 3.5. Now, if you're a really sharp eye, you'll notice that there's something extra special about this bundle. First and foremost, it is actually quite a nice piece of artwork on the front. A little bit of nice text. The the dust cover is actually rather flimsy, so it will not count as an effective expansion to your Dungeon Master screen or shield. One of the old terms for Dungeon Master screens or Game Master screens is also Dungeon Master or Game Master shields. A little bit of fun history. This is actually the oldest Dungeons and Dragons screen or shield I own. So I actually bought this retroactively. You know, I only really got to play Dungeons & Dragons 3.5 a bit, but, you know, there is some other stuff on top of that. It's just, that's a flimsy sheet. There's nothing special on the inside or anything. Now, there is something special about this, as I said. There's actually two things. First and foremost, I'm going to sneakily drop the special thing on the table. Yeah, you didn't see it, huh? But if you had sharp eyes, you would have saw it earlier. This Dungeon Master screen or shield is more in line with the older style of Dungeon Master screens before Dungeons and Dragons 4th edition or Pathfinder 1st edition, where it's actually not a thick piece of cardboard, but actually just a thick piece of cardstock. So it's actually rather flimsy. So there you go. First and foremost, back into the art section. You have fairly nice art on the screen. You have the kobold hanging out there. You have the red dragon. The wing of the red dragon. And the party adventurers for 3.5, the iconics for 3.5. Or 3rd edition, walking into the area to deal with the mess that's at hand. So, yeah. Now, flipping to the inside, you notice that this screen actually does not completely enclose inside. It's a landscape, but it's a shortened outer wing landscape. Weirdly enough, that actually is like a weirdly good length or size for a landscape screen for most things. Slide the special thing out of the way. But anyways, right here in the corner is the common armor, weapon, and shield hardiness and hit points. Weapons in Dungeons & Dragons 3rd edition and 3.5 had hardiness and had HP and hardiness of their own. This means that if some enemy were to use a sundering strike to strike your weapon, they would strike it with such force that they could damage your weapon by attacking it, which results in it becoming damaged, and you have a reduction in various stats on your weapon. There is down here below the weapon, common armor, weapon, and shield hardiness table right here. There is a substance hardiness, which is paper, cloth, rope, glass, ice, leather, hide, wood, etc., etc. DCs to break or burst items right here. Items affected by magical effects. So you have various spells and armors and items that can be affected by magical effects. Size and armor class of objects. Object hardiness and hit points. for more stuff. And yet again, on these, there's also a page number, PH Player's Handbook, page 166, for the Common Armor, Weapon, and Shield Hardiness and Hit Points table. There's also a Walls table with Strength, Doors, Turning Undead table over here for the Cleric, Increasing Weapon Damage by Size. As your character gets bigger and bigger, the more damage you do with the weapon. Decrease weapon damage by size, which is adversely in reverse. Smaller you get it, boom, the weaker it gets. Influence NPC attitudes chart down here. Attack roll modifiers, armor class modifiers, climb check DCs, listen check DCs. You got various a table of actions your characters can perform in their round. There is different standard, free, full, move, varies, disarm foe, and so forth. Actions continue on to a second table, so you not just have one table, you have a second table. You've got concentration checks right here. You've got a skill check section right here. I wanted to find something to see. Yeah. I was just trying to confirm something because they changed some terminology between 3rd edition 3.5 and this is definitely the 3.5. But anyways, you got ability modifier table right here. That goes all your ability scores go all the way up to 20, up to 41 plus. So you can actually get your character's stats up to 41 or greater, and you get a 15 plus on the modifier. Movement and distance table, maximum distance for spot checks. Light sources and illumination chart. Hampered movement chart. Armored encumbered speeds, because if you wear armor in 3.5, if you actually reduce your speed depending on your base speed. Detect magic table right here, which is a nice small one. Detect evil table, and then yeah, that's pretty much it. This is a pretty full table, and as I said, I like these style of tables where it's alternating dark color, light color, dark color, and they're all cleanly defined into little box sections. Makes it really easy to keep track of everything and look around. The text for the titles for the sections, like actions, should be a lot bigger for stuff like this because you really want to be looking around quickly and you want to find armor class modifiers really fast. There should be really an armor class modifier, maybe even a symbol right in front of that. Attack roll modifiers should have a sword or something. Turning undead, it should have a zombie running away or a cleric symbol, etc., etc. That would truly improve this a great deal. Now, this screen would probably be a whole lot better. It's actually really nice. It's loaded with tons of information. It'd be nicer if it was a little bit bigger, a little more space on it, so you can add a few more things in. But other than that, it's amazing. Even for being a flimsy old style screen, it's actually quite sturdy as long as you don't beat the snot out of it. So it's actually quite good. Might actually draw the question as to why modern screens are so hardy and durable with a thick cardboard sides and a great deal of artwork inside. But that's just one of the things. Oh yeah, there's also a missing with thrown weapons chart where you can roll dice is to figure out if your hand axe is flown off center of target here. Now, the thing that probably would improve this would be out of the modern style thicker cardstock, which would make it more durable. Maybe make it a touch taller, a touch longer in the arms. so you have a bit more space in it, and then you could put more stuff in it. That would be nice. Otherwise, this kind of sits in that 3.75 4-star. I really like the fact that there's so much information in this, and it's all charts that can be quickly accessed. Just like small things like construction, and the heads should be bigger. It would be nice if it was also a bigger screen slightly. But there is more. Because if you will remember, when I pulled this out, I said there was something else extra. At the bottom of this, it actually states that there is a bonus. And this is the bonus that comes with it. This is the modern D20 Dungeon Master screen, or Game Master screen. And this is actually quite cool. It's the same style as that. It has that extra, it's shortened arms in landscape format. It actually has a pretty neat modern semi-sci-fi aesthetic going for it. You got some zombies in that situation. On this far left arm, there is a restricted object table, which basically lists licensed, restricted, military, and illegal, time required, etc., etc. You got your page number there. Yet again, just like the other DM screen, the titles are actually a little on the small side, and so is the page number. And when they printed this, you see that the word is actually directly in contact with the top of the box, which actually blends the bottom of the word into the box. So you can't, if some letters are like L's and stuff like that, it might look like I's. So it's all capital letters. But anyways, there's requisition modifiers, concealing weapons and objects modifiers, light sources, vehicle speeds and modifiers, collision damage, because you're driving around in a car, you might drive into something like a zombie, small objects and creatures, collision direction table, attack roll modifiers, defense modifiers, cover section, concealment chart, an actions and combat chart, a size and defense of objects chart. Notice that the actions in combat chart is a lot shorter overall. Actually, it continues this way horizontally. I had a brain for 5 seconds. This whole top strip right here is actually actions in combat right here. And this is the attack actions. This section is the move actions. You got free actions here. You have full round actions. You have action type, it varies. And you have no actions. Like delay and 5-foot step is no actions. Attack of opportunity, no. Alrighty. Substance hardiness and hit points table. Improved weapon damage, or improvised weapon damage. You want to pick up that chair or that pool cue? There's a chart for that. You have balance checks, DCs right here. You have opposing bluff checks, object hardiness and hit points table for like cheap, average, high quality, high security, ultra high security, manufactured objects, fine, diminutive, tiny, small, medium size, etc. You have a climb check DCs table here, concentration checks, escape artist checks by DC, computer use checks, repair checks, influence NPC attitudes table, jump checks, long jump, high jump, swim checks. You got thrown explosives diagram here explaining how if you throw a grenade or something, the first part is like does it deviate? Like you roll, you throw, you roll, you find out if it's fallen to the right or the left or kind of thing. And then there's also the burst radius of said explosive devices and research checks down here on the very bottom, as well as gather information, listen checks, and threat injury checks right here. Yet again, this is another really nice screen, in spite of the fact that it is a flimsy style, the old style flimsies. This is actually rather nice. Light color, dark color, alternating with darker header, with oftentimes a page number that's tied to the whole thing. A little bit of section on information under here, under many of the bars. Proper spacing, so it's easy to read the answer from the question or the condition and outcome. So, and then you got the modern D20 logo down here. So it's overall nice. This is another situation where this is like a 3.75 star that could easily be bumped up to 4.25 star or so forth if they literally just made this. They just made these little wings a little bit longer. So they come to here and they included a little bit extra information there or rearranged some stuff so it doesn't go all the way down to the bottom. And they went with the hard modern cardboard back then. But other than that, it's actually quite nice. And it's actually a nice bonus to get that in with your Dungeon Master screen. For 3.5 is get yourself off a modern D20 screen. So that's pretty cool. And by the way, as I said, that is the last one of my Game Master screens so far. Unless I have one or two that are hidden somewhere and I can't find them and I have no clue where they are. But anyways, or I order some more. But anyways, that's it for now for those. I do have some coming in the mail that I'm going to show off immediately after this. So if they get here quickly enough, this is not the last one in this little section. It just happens to be the last one when I record this. If there is anything else you want to see, if you want me to cover more Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, I can do that. If you want me to cover more Pathfinder, Starfinder, 2nd, 1st, or you want me to wander over to RuneQuest and cover a bit more on RuneQuest, you can request that. Some things will be fast, like Dungeons & Dragons, Pathfinder, Starfinder, where I can instantly, oh yeah, I've read that, I've played a bit, I've done an XYZ. I have a lot of experience with that. Other stuff like RuneQuest, where I'm just I'm new to RuneQuest. I got all kinds of RuneQuest books, and I'm also new to Traveler. That'll take a little longer, and depending on how impatient people are, it's one of those things. But if anything, I will produce whatever I will, and one of my missions is to actually produce as many videos as possible of as many different gaming systems as possible. Not pad them excessively for time or anything like that. I want to show off my collection of fun stuff so people can get a good idea of what, hey, this is a good product or this is bad product, or I can get by without using that or something like that. And oftentimes I will review something, I will say this is my thoughts of it, I think it's good, and I will show it to you as much as possible, and you can make a decision whether my decision to give it a good score or not is a good score, and you can go from there. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a delightful day, a nice night, a wonderful weekend, a magnificent month. And if you love these videos, please watch the ones that you are the most interested in. Share them, like them, comment on them, and so forth. If you dislike videos, please tell me in the comments below. Hit the dislike button, and that's all. Thank you very much, and see you next time.